So is it time to play Vizzina? I mean, the guy's been at Clemson. This is season number 3. He's a redshirt sophomore. He's been sitting on the bench for a while. And if you think next year he's going to come in and just because he's been at Clemson for 3 years, he's not going to have some rust. If you think that him sitting on the bench has given him real game time experience, then you're going to be very let down next year. I'm going to dive into this in just a second. Happy Tuesday morning to you. Man, this month, we're already mid-September. We're going into week 4 already. For us Clemson fans, this is not funny, but it is funny. This morning, in fact, just before I logged on here, I was pulling up Clemson, and I had ESPN set to top 25. And just being honest here, I was like, and I didn't realize it was set to top 25. I was like, I can't find Clemson. That's because they're not in the top 25. We're 3 weeks in. They've already dropped from 4 all the way out of the top 25, guys. But anyway, it's still college football season. If you love Clemson football, whether they're up, they're down, they're somewhere in between, I hope you'll subscribe. It is free. I just crossed 8,000 subscribers. Thank you to everyone who subscribed. I do appreciate it. Also, I have another channel, another college football podcast. The link is below this. Go check it out. It's a very, very new channel, and I'm talking about a bunch of teams. It's a lot of fun over there, too. So pass that along and subscribe. All right, let's get some things out of the way. I don't want to replace Kade. That's not what I'm implying here. I think replacing Kade would be a bad look for Clemson right now. I know that Kade has made mistakes he shouldn't make. You know it. I know it. Kade knows it. All right. But Clubnik, when put in the right situation, and that's what coach is supposed to do, put you in the right situation, take advantage of your strengths, not what they wished you would do, but your strengths. That's their job. You'll be fine, and Kade will do well. Notice when they played to his strengths this past week, quarters 2, 3, and 4, notice what happened. Clemson moved the football very, very well, which, by the way, I'm not holding my breath that they'll do that against Syracuse. History tells me that Clemson will decide when they want to open up the playbook or be more creative or be aggressive, and then they just shut it. So if you're mad at me and you're like, have a little faith, I'm going to respond to you and say, hey, to each their own, but I believe in looking at history and just going, doesn't look good. If you want me to believe, do something different than you've done historically and do it consistently, and then I'll believe. That's good. That is good. I mean, this is not like believing in Jesus here. This is Clemson. This is Clemson, right? So, let's not make this spiritual here. Let's not get overly fluffy or sugar-coated. Just do something different than you've been doing for a while and do it consistent. Then I'll buy in, because I'm done giving Clemson the benefit of the doubt. So notice that Georgia Tech schemed to Haynes King's ability, not what they wished he would do. And that's the difference between coaching staffs that wants to win and the ones that will want another player at quarterback. So we don't need to replace Kade. We need to scheme to what he's good at. And stop talking about what he should have done. Yes, I agree with you. There's passes that he's missed. But when you scheme to his abilities, the guy's pretty doggone tough, and he started looking incredible in that Georgia Tech game after quarter 1. Well, quarter 1 is part of the game. Yeah, it is. Did you not hear the words that I just said? I said you need to scheme to his abilities, and that's what happened in quarters 2, 3, and 4. I always go back to Cole Stout. Cole Stout, Chad Morris tried to get him to be Deshaun Watson, and Georgia Tech humiliated him. Chad Morris, if my memory serves me correct, the timeline was this. At the end of that season, 2014, Deshaun Watson had ACL surgery. Cole Stout had to come in and play against Oklahoma in the Russell Athletic Bowl. And I was like, holy crap, we're going to lose by a ton of points. I believe that was Jeff Scott and Tony Elliott's first game calling the offense together. Did they try to make Cole Stout Deshaun Watson? No. They schemed for Cole Stout. He threw for 361, I think it was, and they absolutely beat the color out of Oklahoma. And a lot of people don't want to talk about that because it proves the point. You look at who you have and you scheme for the roster that you have, not your game plan. Well, it's what we run at Clemson. Well, good. How has that been working out for you? So we don't need to replace Kade. But Christopher Vizena, though next year he'll go into his 4th year at Clemson, a redshirt junior, he is going to walk out on the field more experienced than, say, a true freshman. But this guy is not going to have game time experience. Now, I know you're probably in your head and you're probably right. You're like, Brian, you mean we're supposed to try him out there against Georgia Tech? No. But you should have took care of business against Troy so you could have trotted him out there and given him some experience, because the last quarterback I remember who didn't get the proper experience and then he was thrown into a starting role is now a guy who has some bad habits because he wasn't prepared by the coaching staff. So we are either going to learn from our mistakes or we're going to be those people who never learn and they were always going, I can't believe this happened. Can't believe this happened, man. How'd that happen, man? I'm shocked, man. Really? Here's the thing. Vizzina should be able to play against Syracuse this week. Clemson's a 17.5-point favorite coming into this game. Between you and I could absolutely care less. I love my Tigers, pulling for my Tigers, but that means nothing. Clemson playing at home. You could make this a night game against Syracuse. Used to, that was a done deal. You go into Clemson, South Carolina, it's at night. You're losing, pal. Nope. Not anymore. Not anymore. That's not happening. But Vizzina could see playing time, should see playing time against Syracuse if Clemson comes out and plays solid. Call that offensive scheme that you call in quarters 2, 3, and 4 consistently throughout the game. You'll see Christopher Vizena this coming Saturday. And for some of you going, well, Syracuse is a good football team. You haven't paid attention to Syracuse. Well, they did good last year. Yep, they lost almost every member of that team. That was a major member. All top wide receivers, the quarterback, leading rusher from last year. It's just like South Carolina fans, everybody going, I can't believe South Carolina ain't doing what they should do. Gee, Mickey. Yeah. Because you didn't pay attention that they lost basically their entire defense, save Dylan Stewart. That's the reason everybody's shocked right now. All you had to do was open up Phil Steele's book and see, oh my goodness, they lost a bunch of people. South Carolina fans were even believing that they're Ohio State or Georgia. It's like, look, y'all had a good season last year, for South Carolina, but And you beat Clemson, and yeah, it is what it is. But you lost a lot. That means something. So did Syracuse. They lost a lot. Then you're playing at North Carolina. Then you're playing at Boston College. Then you come back home to play SMU. And by the way, SMU just doesn't look amazing. They don't. Let's not blow that game up. Rematch of the ACC championship. That's nothing. Duke is embarrassing. I say embarrassing. They're just not good. So Vizzina should see playing time against Syracuse, against North Carolina, against Boston College, against Duke, against Furman. That would be 5 ball games that you could get him in and give him some real experience, because he needs it. He needs it. Folks, if we're always 2 or 3 plays away from winning with this roster, you are going to crap your britches at next year. I mean, like, we're going to be like 10 plays away next year. That's how much experienced talent Clemson will lose after this season. So while we are talking about a missed pass here, missed pass there, if you don't get this guy experience, it is going to be a bad day at Clemson. It's going to be a really bad day at Clemson. So again, Clemson needs to play him to give him experience. Again, I am not saying start him over Kade. No. Split reps with Kade. No. That is not what I'm saying. But you have to get him experience. If you go, well, hold on, they're thinking about playing Denson over Vizzina. Okay, well, then get Denson out there. Oh, we got Tate Reynolds coming in. Listen, Tate may be fantastic. But you have Vizzina, you have Denson. We need to be getting these guys experience. Folks, are we not learning from not setting up Kade for success? Are you not learning what that did to them? To him? I'm going to get in the comments section. Will, man, let's try it. What can hurt? It's good to see you. Chase B, he's not the answer. Yeah, we're just wanting to get him on the field. We're not replacing Kade. Yes, I think you should play Vizzina a series at least. Mr. Brown, honestly, don't think he's ready or the answer. I'm telling you, folks, he will be the starter next year unless something crazy happens. We have to get him reps this year. He's barely played any reps in his now 3 years at Clemson. And that should scare the crap out of you. That should scare you to death. Because right now, Deshaun Watson's and Trevor Lawrence's coming out of high school, they don't want to come to Clemson at all. They don't. They're like, hey man, I've got this. Whether you agree with it or not, they have this school over here offering them $7 million, $9 million, $10 million to come to play at their school. And if they don't play, they take the money, and then they hit the transfer portal, and another school goes, hold on, they were in a loaded quarterback room up at Ohio State or somewhere like that. You know what? We'll give them, maybe we won't give them $10 million, but we'll give them $5 million to come play at fill in the blank school. So that's what's happening. You're going to have to develop a quarterback. How can you develop a man sitting on the bench? May there, and good morning, Jonathan Evans. Oh, Parker Henderson. Parker, you in here this morning? It's good to see you, my friend. Good to see you in here. Oh, a longtime supporter of the channel. Mind of Alexander, portal quarterback? I'm not going to say no, but I don't think so. Thomas Henderson, Clemson will continue to look like crap because y'all don't want real changes. I heard Max Brown, and I've really appreciated Max Brown's breakdown of film and so on. It's very cerebral. I enjoy it. But he started on the whole transfer portal thing. Transfer portal is not what got us here. It's coaching. And I don't know how many times I have to tell y'all. I'm not saying that the transfer portal is not affecting Clemson and the NIL is not affecting them to a point. I'm not saying that, but I'm telling you our problem is at coaching. Georgia Tech outcoached Clemson this past week, and it was obvious. That offensive coordinator stepped back and said, I have Haynes King. What is his skill set? Then we're going to go from there. That's what you're supposed to do as a coach. I know a story, and I've told this before on the show, but I know the story of a coach who was winning conference championships. And over the years, his winning record started, and this was in major college sports. His winning record started to go down. And then it got to 500. And one of his assistants went to him, someone who had been friends with him for many, many years, who was also on his coaching staff, and told him, said, listen, we don't have the athletes to run the regular game plan, but we do have the athletes to win. We just need to make some changes. I want to even say this person, knowing them, they offered changes because I know them, and they had coached some pretty big people in their life, some who's in sports. And the head coach looked at him and said, we've won with this game plan. We will not change this game plan. And fast forward, that coach went out like winning 30% of his games, 40% of his games. Okay? You can either learn and adjust, or you can hunker down and hold on to your pride like a scared 3-year-old holds on to their teddy bear during a thunderstorm, and you can go down. Georgia Tech just beat a team that has way more talent than it because their offensive coordinator realized his job was just to win. It wasn't to do it his way. That his goal was not his way. The goal was to win with what he has. And that, I'm telling you, it's coaching. It's coaching. You can put Josh Allen back there, it won't help. There's no offensive line, average at best receivers, and a coaching staff that just can't scheme or adjust. The offensive line has not performed like we wanted them to. The receivers are some of them are dropping balls, but the coaching staff that can't scheme or won't scheme or be an influence, whatever it is, that one I majorly agree with. And this is yet another season that we're sitting here wondering about coaching. On the film study, you can see once again Kade missed wide open guys. Yeah, he has. And when they stop trying to put everything on him, and I know he's a quarterback, and we can say, well, he should be at this stage of it. Okay, he's not. But when we started running plays with him in second and third and fourth quarters, overall, the guy was tough. Do that. And you'll lose to Florida State, but you'll probably win out the rest of the season because South Carolina doesn't look good. You lose to South Carolina this year, I'm just saying. Kade is our absolutely best shot. If anything, I'd like to see Denson. Yeah, again, for everyone who's watching me here, and I know this comment was earlier in the video, I'm not talking about replacing Kade. I'm saying we need to get Vizzina some playing time, y'all. This is going to bust us in the head next year. Good morning. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Well, the drop-off in offensive production, wide receiver coach, offensive line coach, OC and quarterback coach should all be on the hot seat. Okay, so let's talk about that for a second. Wide receivers coach has been a question for a while. We're now with this group of wide receivers that preseason was the best group that we had seen at Clemson in years, and we have seen drops. But a lot of people are saying it's not the wide receiver coach. Look, I don't call for people to be fired. I do my very best not to do that. But I just don't. I think that this wide receivers coach has had a bunch of 4-stars over the years. And, when guys are coming out and they do get the ball and they're dropping it, and now it's this group, you have to look at whether he's effective or not. The O-line coach is one of the best in the business. I don't know what's going on with our offensive line, but I disagree with you there. Matt Luke, Georgia wants him back. So I wouldn't want to give him back. Out of all the coaches on Clemson's coaching staff, including Tom Allen, Matt Luke, I'd keep him. The OC and the quarterback coach, they're the same person. Garrett Riley is the quarterback coach from last I remember. Probably Taj Boyd is helping him out there, but the last I remember, OC and quarterback coach, it was Garrett Riley, the quarterback coach. Jeff Scott only schemed, never called a play. That was all Elliott. I'll tell you this. When you pulled Elliott and Jeff apart, it didn't look good. Those two together were amazing. Amazing. So a lot of people like to divorce those two. I don't. When Jeff and Elliott were together, they were incredible. So everybody will talk about, in Tiger Fan 24, I appreciate your comment. A lot of people brings that up. Jeff never called a play. He was doggone good at scheming. I mean, that guy, first year, I think he was a head coach for 1 year at a high school in South Carolina called Blythewood. And in his 1 year, they won the state championship. The guy can scheme like a machine. So if you have a really good scheme and you're feeding someone plays and going, hey, I'm scheming based on this, they're just picking from a brilliant scheme. And so I think there's some nuance that needs to be taken there. A lot of people conveniently forgets that even though DJ was there in 2021, that was all Tony. In 2020, if my memory serves me correct, that was all Tony. So those two together should be taken as a group, as a package. Could be wrong, won't be the first time. I feel the FSU will show us where the Tigers stand in the ACC. Now I'm just hoping we can beat UNC. I would hope that we beat Syracuse this coming week. Syracuse, even though they lost a lot, it doesn't matter now. We see that it doesn't matter how much talent Clemson has on the field. We're now at that point where it doesn't matter how much talent we have on the field. If you ever get to a place in your program, I'm going to say this. If you ever get into a place within your program where you have a ton of talent and you're underperforming, that's scary. And that's a reason to sound an alarm. Yeah, Florida State has a coach and a bunch of players, has coaches on their staff right now who probably has boxes still that needs to be unpacked because they just moved to Tallahassee and they look incredible. Parker Henderson. Wait, Clemson has a football team. I love it, my man. I love it, dude. I love it. Chris Rhodes says this is fantastic. It is looking like someone is getting paid to throw the game, in my opinion. I know Clemson has the talent. They can play great. I had this conversation with someone the other day. I said, it's almost like someone is throwing the game. That's funny that you're saying. And folks, listen, I'm not peddling that. I'm just saying it does look that bad, folks. Going on down. Josh Leinert, I'm hoping I'm saying that the right way. Wife made the comment the other night that Riley is still shell-shocked about losing to Georgia in the Natty. Probably not true, but got me thinking, does it hold water? He's played Georgia twice, once with TCU, once with Clemson. His offense scored 10 points versus their 99. So, I don't know. I don't want to end up having to apologize to the guy if he is heavily influenced to call a certain style of play at Clemson. And we're going to owe Brandon Streeter a major apology if he was heavily influenced to call a certain type of offense. Player development issue. 14 coaches are former players with little to no success. Cole Stout, an offensive analyst, wide receiver. Come on. We're at the place at Clemson right now. Again, this is a telltale for me. When you have a ton of talent, and Clemson does, don't let anyone start second guessing everything. They were spot on about the talent. We need to be looking at the development. That's why when people start talking about the transfer portal, I'm sitting there going, that NIL has affected everyone. The issue at Clemson is coaching, pretty much across the board. And you have to develop players. Riding the pine helps motivate, lets him improve. I get what you're saying. If you're benching someone for disciplinary reasons, yes, but just simply not playing, I don't know if I see that one. Man, my ears itching. My ears itching. I'm gonna scratch it. Sorry, goofy moment for me. Jason Red, you asked this question just the other day, so I'm answering it. I had a lot of comments come in on the last few videos because the season, I say the last few videos, it's just been firing up. Y'all been showing out, and I appreciate it. Unfortunately, I haven't. I'm not like some people who has a team who will go in and answer for them. You're looking at the team. You're looking at the janitor of this show, the producer, the writer, the talent. But yeah, we've got to get whoever is our next guy is. We're going to have to get them some playing time, or we're going to be in this mess for a long time. We're going to before you know it, it's going to be 15 years, and we're still talking about 2016 like it was yesterday. And I remember in the 90s, people talking about 1981 like it was yesterday, and it was kind of hard for me to accept because I was so young. Mid 90s, I was turning 13. And I meant to click that just a second ago, or in just a second. But anyway, I was like, what are these people doing? That's like 14 years ago. And now I get it because I'll be 43 in a couple of weeks. November 1st, if you'd like to put it on your calendar and wish me a happy birthday, maybe send me I don't know, $50, $60, $100, $400 gift card, super thanks on here. I'd never stop you. I know. No, but that's what we're doing now. We're talking about 2016 like it was yesterday. We're talking about 2018 like it was yesterday. Folks, I told you, I've been warning you about this, and no one will listen. And I know that we don't control what Clemson does. I get that. But we're fans, and the reason that they're paid so much is because we do care. So it's bothersome to watch this team just go down this path. This season, more than any, is the telltale that nothing's right. It's not right anymore in Clemson. How can other teams do well with their talent, but Clemson can't with their talent? It's development, play calling, no development. When Antonio was out, they have no play call. Yeah, and I tell you this, I'm so blown away by how many people Parker is holding on that Antonio was out. Antonio is fantastic, but has anyone else seen our wide receivers? Tyler Brown has done fantastic. In fact, Tyler Brown is what he's doing what he was doing 2 years ago when Antonio went out. He's filling in. We have the talent, folks. People are grasping at straws to try to figure out what is going on, but the development in the play calling is not there. Travis Hamrick, my old buddy, he came on the show the other night, did a call in the other night. Y'all, I'm not kidding you. I just thought I was going to go on for 45 minutes to an hour. It ended up being 2 hours. A ton of people showed up, and a ton of people, considering how long the video is, has viewed that video. And I am floored. So me doing call-in shows, I'm going to tell you, you may see that ramp up. And I've had people ask me to do it. You may see that ramp up. Travis came on, had a good chance. Or had a good, not chance. I was reading his comments. See, I told you I can't read the comments. I'm like Ron Burgundy. But Travis came on, sent me a wonderful email. Travis, thank you for that email. Thank you. Or it was either an email or a message. But Travis sent me a wonderful message. And man, he is so in detail. He is so detailed breaking down Clemson. He should start a podcast. If I were you, I'd do it. I'd do it, Travis Hamrick. I would do it, man. He loves Clemson, but he's real, and he dives into different angles. So, just now had the chance to recruit his own guys. He has an eye for talent that he can develop. Yes, Matt Luke. We need to. If there's one person that needs to stay on that coaching staff, it's Matt Luke. Let me see. I don't think Clemson fans are ready for what next harder. I think what you're trying to say is they're not ready for what's coming. Yeah. If y'all are irritated about 2 or 3 plays away, wait till next year. Unless a miracle happens, wait till next year. It's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. Let me see. These next games like SMU and Florida State, I bet they are laughing at our offense, especially Florida State. I would hold on putting SMU in there. Florida State definitely is. They're like, and Malzahn coaches his best ball when he's playing a big team. Ask Alabama. And so he's going to come into Clemson, South Carolina with a game plan and a half. We are a D1 school and had a wide receiver beat out multiple recruited running backs. Randall is awesome, but do coaches really trust him? Feed him the rock. I love Spiller, the player. I don't know about Spiller, the coach. Mark, man, you just said something. A lot of people has been saying we love Spiller. I just don't know about him as a coach. I met him and he's a really good guy. Yeah, he is a really good guy. He was an incredible running back. He has given money to Clemson. He brought in millions with him playing there. But I just don't know about him as a coach. And you notice I hate even saying that. Yeah. A lot of good questions. Hopefully they won't throw him in at the worst possible like they did with Kade. Yeah, Trey Stevens. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Dwayne Wicker. Love this. WNBA playoffs. At least there's something to look forward to. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Going on through here now, I'm going to have to go. Oh, my. Be real. Be real. Love it. Noah Denton. You make me feel young when you say be real because it sounds like something one of my kids would say. I have a 19-year-old and a 9-year-old, so somewhere in between there. I mean, at least you didn't go towards more the end of my youngest and call me something like, I don't know, Doo-Doo Brown. But, yeah, it's good to see you. Good to see you in here. Moore is playing scared. Kade staring him down before throwing to him in the middle. Yeah, he almost unalived him against Troy. I swear I said the same thing. It looks like Clemson is trying to throw games. You and Pigskin Pete should have a call-in show together. I need to get Pete on the show. I texted him the other day. Someone said something really horrible about Pigskin, another well-known Clemson personality, and me. And I screenshot it and I sent it to him. I said, "We have fans." I love pigskin. I love pigskin. All right, folks. Y'all, there's 87 of you in here. I may hop on my other channel and break down the upcoming week. Again, I accidentally had ESPN set to the top 25 and I couldn't find Clemson. And realized I couldn't find them because it was accidentally set to top 25. We've already just played 3 games. It's sad. It's sad. It really, really is. It really is. But obviously the coaching staff, and I'm not being a jerk here, but by their admittance, they're like, we're 2 or 3 plays away. And I just want to see some urgency. I want to see some urgency. But anyway, we can't fix it. We can't fix it. So there we go. Y'all take care of yourself. Hope you'll subscribe. Over 8,000 subscribers. Hey, Pat, if you want this channel to grow and you like what I'm doing, you're like, you know what? I don't agree with him on everything, but I just like his honesty. There's people I know like that. I follow. I'm like, I don't agree with them on everything, but you know what? I like their honesty. I like that they're passionate. I'll subscribe and tell people about them. I hope you'll do the same for my channel if you like it, because it really does help.